So for the basis of what this reading is about is you have the Seven of Cups. Then in your current energies, you have the Seven of Wands. And then in your near future, you have the Two of Wands. In your challenge, your reverse challenging position, you have the Five of Pentacles reversed. And what's recommended for you is the Eight of Swords. So this reading is based around something that you've had a lot of decisions for. Or options. Like you have a lot of options. Some of you might be in a situation right now that you're not sure exactly what you're doing as far as taking different opportunities or looking into different options. You're kind of spoiled for choice, but not all these options are good. Some options are better than others. So it's always like hard of having to be aware and really look into things to make sure that all that glitters isn't gold and you're not choosing something that's not going to be good for you going forward. So whatever this is, it has to do with some situation in your life where you have multiple options and you might have actually made a decision. So, and now you're kind of in this energy now. So we have the Seven of Wands in your current energy. So I feel like some of you are kind of battling. You're standing your ground. This could be that maybe some people aren't on board with your decision or your choice, or you have to kind of almost like now, maybe you didn't choose the easier path. Maybe you thought you were choosing the easier path and it's not, or it just represents some problems. There's problems everywhere. Anytime we do anything, there's a problem, you know? So whatever's going on now, you're really kind of standing your ground. You're standing up for yourself and you're kind of, I don't say standing apart from others, but you're staying in your convictions. Like you're in a way determined, but you're defending yourself. And what's coming in for you is the Two of Wands. So you're going to then start really deciding on how to proceed forward with this. Like, I wonder for some of you, if you've made a choice and now you have to defend that choice, and then you're going to have to kind of like have a game plan. But this is not really having a full game plan yet. It's just kind of seeing the possibilities. So it's not really like the nitty gritty details of the game plan. It's just kind of trying to figure out how are you going to get there. Maybe there's certain steps that you know, but you don't see everything. So, but your challenge here with the Five of Pentacles reversed, you could be feeling like you don't have enough finances or anything. You might not have enough regarding the situation, or you could be almost like putting too much value on money regarding the situation, and it could be kind of causing you to stay stuck, or like even emotionally, you could feel like you don't have enough emotional support in a way, you know? Because even though it's a Pentacles card, it's just sometimes when you're in this lonely feeling, because in the reverse, it's like they're in the lonely feeling, but it might be more on the inside as well. They feel like maybe you feel like you don't have a support system that's helping you with this. Because depending on what decision you made, and if you have to defend your decision to others, and maybe you're like trying to figure out the game plan, but you're not really exactly sure. And if you feel like you don't have a support system or people are on your side or helping you with it, with whatever that could be, it could definitely make this Two of Wands a little bit trickier in a sense. But what's recommended for you is the Eight of Swords. And this is about self-imposed restrictions. Now, sometimes we do this to, well, obviously self-imposed, we do it to ourselves, but I don't always see this as a bad thing, depending on what it is. So, like, for instance, if you're a student and you have a really big essay that you need to write, and you have friends that are going out to the bar and they're going to have a good time. Oh, they're going to have a great time. But you have to have that essay done by either tomorrow or the next day. You need to stay at home. You need to keep that ass at home writing that paper. That's what you need to do. So you are now restricting yourself, and you're going to be miserable. Oh, yes. You're going to hear your friends. You'll see them on the TikTok or the whatever kids or whatever people are doing these days. They're going to have all their pictures, all this party stuff, and you're there writing a paper that you probably don't even like, on a subject you don't even like, for a class you didn't even want to take. But that is a self-imposed restriction because you know you need to get that work done. So it's not a card of fun, no, but I see it as a card of being, it's a necessary card depending on the situation. But it also could be problematic if you're restricting yourself when you don't have to restrict yourself. But because this is recommended for you, I wonder if some of you, and especially because this person is blindfolded, I wonder if some of you need to just tune out, because the swords represent your thoughts and everything. Like, so I wonder if some of you need to tune out the excessive chatter, even if it's in your mind, and just stay a little tunnel vision, stay a little focused right now, because there's swords protecting this person in a way, and they're kind of just focused on really their eye mask, really. But they are, to me, that's being extremely tunnel vision, to the point where you don't see anything, kind of tunnel vision. But you might have to just really focus on a certain aspect of this currently and work through that. Like, if there's a bigger problem depending on this, you might have to really figure that problem out first, and just that problem, because sometimes it's like a ball of yarn. You pull the right string or right thread and it unravels the whole ball. You know, it could be all tangled and everything, but you get that one right string, it untangles a big piece, and then you can find another little piece that's the right string, and it helps you now unravel the mess. So I feel like there might be something where you need to either not be listening to other people's opinions, or cutting or tuning somebody or something out, or staying some kind of like super focused on what you need to get done to push this forward. Now let's see what else we get for you guys. Okay, first up we have Porcupine Spirit, time for a beginner mind. So I wonder if you know what, I wonder if the beginner mind is really going with this Two of Wands here, because I think sometimes the problem with the Two of Wands, or the problem the person the Two of Wands could face, is that they have a lot of options, right? So they're kind of trying to figure out their options. They're trying to expand on their horizons. They're figuring out what they want to do. But sometimes once you figure something out a little bit, sometimes you set the goal or the concepts way too far. You know, I'm not saying don't have those far goals, have them, but you need to start seeing like the little steps before you. So that would be the beginner mind with that. So I think some of you might need to have that, like that, have the end goal or have the end concept or idea or whatever this is, but make sure that you're not getting caught up so far away where it's like you're expected just to climb a mountain in one step type of thing. You know, you might have to break up the steps a little bit. Now we have Malachite. It's time to transform and Iolite, shift your money mindset. So I definitely think the shift your money mindset is going with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, because some of you might financially be fine regarding whatever this is, but you might be feeling you don't have enough finances, or it could be you feel that even that you could even be maybe doubting yourself in a sense of whatever this could be, that will it work? Because maybe the Seven of Wands, when you're in this energy and you have to defend yourself, you're defending yourself from people or things that are saying, no, this is not going to work. You have a dumb idea. You can't do it. You know, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's what you're defending yourself. So that might be kind of getting into your ear right now, into your head. So you might have to kind of shift out of that. You might have to shift out of that mindset of like potentially not being able to do something, or you're not worthy or whatever. Now, and the time to transform, I just think this is saying that the time to transform, I think, is going with the Two of Wands, because this is at the point where like you're trying to figure out what are you doing? Like, you're trying to get the game plan going. So you're going to have to transform. But into doing that, because these are action cards here, the wands, in doing that, you have to take action. So you have to physically get in the game. And then you have engagement ring. Engagement, partnerships, commitment, eternity, completion, union. And I wonder for some of you, if whatever the Seven of Cups, whatever this decision you made, I wonder if it's something that is more of an engagement type of decision. Not necessarily love or whatever, but what I mean by that is, you know, sometimes we have ideas or we do things and we just date them, you know? Like, you could be, I don't know, like, you could have tried yoga a couple times and you didn't like it. You just dated yoga. Like, maybe you got the mat, maybe you got a block or two. It wasn't much of a financial, you know, if you only got a few things, it wasn't much of a financial commitment. You just dated yoga. You realize, yeah, I don't like yoga. We're just not working out. It's not for me. We're done. But I'm wondering for some of you if this is some type of potentially investment or something that's going to wind up you investing more of your time, especially because if you're defending whatever this represents for you and now you're having to plan. I wonder if this situation is more of an engagement situation where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to be putting my time, effort, and resources into this. I'm not married. I can back out, but it's now more of a bigger commitment. So I wonder if that's what some of you this represents with the engagement. And love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And I think that's always important, especially if you're feeling a little isolated or feeling a little like alone in this. You just always have to kind of give yourself a hug sometimes. You have heart chakra, connection. Father Divine and Mother Earth make love in your heart. And I think this is another card, obviously, of loving yourself. So some of you really might need just like kind of a hug right now. So I'm sending you an energetic hug. Cancers, I'm sending you all energetic hugs if you want energetic hugs. But some of you just kind of might be a little bit, I don't want to say frustrated, because to me this is a little bit frustrated energy in a sense. It's a little like, you know, it's good energy, but it's a little bit, sometimes, you know, you roll with the punches type of energy. You have good days, you have bad days, you're kind of figuring it out. Things go well, things don't go well. You don't know what you're doing occasionally. So it's kind of like that. So, and sometimes you forget to really take that time and self-care when you're going through this type of stuff. Now, we have, let me do this one first. Reevaluate. In the starlit sky, we still look for the falling stars. So I think this is saying that even falling stars, like if you are feeling that maybe you don't have the support or you're almost feeling like you're going through like a falling star moment, or you're like a failure or something like that, or you might feel like you may fail at this or whatever this is, this falling stars are actually extremely beautiful as well, and they've transformed. So it just, I think it's saying that even if you do screw something up along the way or things don't go 100% right, there's almost still beauty in your actions and the efforts that you're taking, because sometimes that helps you actually figure certain things out so things become easier in the future. So sometimes failures are actually the greatest successes you'll ever have, because you learn more from failing than you ever will learn from actually succeeding and everything going 100% fine. I'm telling you right now, nobody's paying attention when everything's going great. You pay a real good attention when things aren't going great. When shit hits the fan, you are all ears. You are paying attention. So it just you might have to even reevaluate some of your failures of the past and see them as, even if you were having a moment where, like, you know, I was strong during that time. It didn't work out. Everything went to hell. But at least I tried my best. I stood my ground. I had to be strong during that, and I got through that. So sometimes even reevaluating past failures or past mistakes makes you realize that you're much, much stronger than you actually even realize or know that you are. So I think that's important. Now, romance. Love is a set... let me read this again. Romance. Love is set to sizzle. The chance for romance is high for those seeking a connection. And I kind of feel like I don't necessarily know 100%. This could be a love reading for some of you. I don't necessarily know if it's like I see it 100% as a love reading, but it could be. You take this how it works. But I think like whatever this situation represents, it's something that you did want to get engaged to. And now when you get engaged, you're agreeing to that. You know, both parties have to agree to that. So I think you agreed to this situation to kind of commit to whatever the situation represents for you. And I think this is saying that, like, if you kind of push through and just trudge through the mud a little bit, I think it's going to actually open up to something that's potentially good, potentially has like a lot of success for you, but a lot of is worthwhile doing is what I mean. So, okay, now we have, there's better shit on the horizon. Give that shit up. And I think these are words of wisdom right here. So, I think this is saying that whatever BS you might have been dealing with, sometimes like we can't continue. I look at the past, or I reflect on the past way too much. I personally do it. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, don't reflect on the past, because like I do it too. Like I'm sure most of us do it, you know. But I think sometimes it hinders us from actually moving forward. And with this whole time to transform, you might just have to let certain things go, or kind of just try to stay tunnel vision, because maybe the Eight of Swords is like recommended that you don't focus on past failures. You don't look at things like, because you stay almost like in a cocoon, and you don't focus or think about things that didn't go right in the past, or things that people are saying that is wrong with your idea or what you want to do here. And you're trying to stay in your little happy bubble. Because I feel like with better shit on the horizon, I feel like if you could stay in your happy bubble and figure some of this out, you are going to be stepping into something that could potentially be lucrative, or could be potentially marriage quality, you know, something that eventually down the road you'll be like, okay, this idea was pretty good. Now I'm ready to commit to it even further. So now we have ignorance makes you a tool to be used. Knowledge makes you a weapon to be feared. And also, when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. So I really feel like, where was all that stuff? Where did we have it? Reevaluate, you know, for the falling stars thing. And your self-respect. I just think that, and time for a beginner mind, because some of you might have to start fresh. So some of the stuff that's been hindering you or plaguing you, you might have to kind of start fresh from. Now, because I feel like whatever mistakes you may have made in the past, or may have happened in the past or whatever, like those can be used now as knowledge. They were rough knowledge, but you could put all that experience into your knowledge toolbox. And you can kind of learn from that. And sometimes you have to see these mistakes as learning situations. But I think by understanding what went wrong, how things went wrong, or what even went right, helps you kind of judge or maneuver more effectively going forward. And then when it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars. And I think this is saying that you just have to kind of like, even if you're going through it, if it's a mess, if you're just upset, if people are pissing you off, if just things are just, just look on the bright side. Because sometimes that'll help shift you out of that. Will it shift you out of it all the time? Will it shift you out of it fully? Probably not. Let's call it for what it is. But at least you could be like, okay, well, you know, I saw this today and it made me a little happy, even though I'm still miserable. At least like something like that could kind of help you sometimes. Now for your little affirmation card, we have, today I will breathe. Today, as I face challenges, I will call a mental timeout. I will consciously breathe with my eyes closed and focus on slowing my mind. Let me read this again. I'm screwing this up. Today I will breathe. Today, as I face challenges, I will call a mental timeout. I will consciously breathe with my eyes closed and focus on slowing my inhalation and exhalation. I don't know where I got mind in there. I'm just adding words now. I feel like this is what this person is doing. I wonder if this is exactly what's recommended for you, is to close your eyes, shut yourself in a room or a closet somewhere and just breathe. Because on this card, this is what this person is doing. They've cocooned themselves, they've closed their eyes, and they're like in their little section, and they're like, all I'm doing right now is breathing. I'm not thinking, I'm not doing anything, I'm not worrying about the kids, I don't care about the neighbor making a ton of noise down the street, I am just breathing. Some of you might have to do that. Some of you, that could be very, very valuable advice. Now, for your little Bob Ross, we get, if I paint something, I don't want to have to explain what it is. And I feel like this might be you. Whatever decision you guys have made or decided to pursue, I just feel like the Seven of Wands is you having to explain to other people why the hell you're doing it. And you're getting a little annoyed, you know, because I don't think they're agreeing with you. And now you're here trying to figure out the plan because you're going to show them that you were right, but you're feeling isolated. You feel like you don't have a support system and you just need to breathe. You need to shut yourself in the closet or shut yourself in the basement or the crawl space or wherever and just breathe. So... Bob Ross understands. He was there. He knows. Now, for your stress relief and self-care card, you have mental vacation, objective. Separate your work life from your personal life. As your work day comes to an end, your body and mind have accumulated... Let me read that again. I'm sorry, guys. I can't speak today. As your work day comes to an end, your body and mind have accumulated a lot of stress. You may feel exhausted and mentally drained. It's very common to carry that agitation home with you if you didn't create a peaceful transition between your work and personal life. Create a mindful transition from your work day to your home life using a mental vacation visualization practice. By visualizing your perfect relaxation spot, you can put yourself in a calm, restful, and happy state of mind that allows you to move on peacefully to your next responsibility. And that's what this person's doing. They're in their little happy place right now, visualizing anything that they like, and that's what they're doing. So now your spirit of the dish that will be with you during this time is you have the fountain, which is the spirit of the fountain soda. Now, for your dinner and a movie, you have romance, films, and Mexican food. For the energies that you either need to tap into or be aware of, you have yourself, Cancer. You have Cancers, and you guys are about emotions and habits. And you have Leo here, which is about ego, individuality, and confidence. This little guy here is Pluto, and he's all about transformation and major changes. And you have Mars here, which is all about energy, initiative, and temper. So you have the 8th house, which represents change, transformation, depth, secrets, and sex. And then you have the 12th house, which represents occult, psychic abilities, and the subconscious mind. You have number 4 here, which is an even number. So that means the special guest that will be answering your question today, Cancers, will be Mr. Predicto. Think of those questions. He'll be out here shortly. You have FASI... G, G, V, N, R, I, 4, 6. And you have the apple. And I feel like apples are kind of refreshing. They're crisp. You know, they kind of seem like a very clean fruit, you know? And they're kind of like, they're not like, they don't go bad quickly. They're kind of like solid. So I think some of you might just need to kind of, I don't know, don't let your, this is what I'm getting with this. Like, don't let other people try to taint your shine. Because sometimes apples are like super shiny. And I just wonder if somebody's trying to like taint your shine in a way. But like, I feel like you have something that could be like really abundant or really, I don't know, like, kind of like valuable, because sometimes apples are tied to kind of education or whatever. So there might be something that you're going to offer that's really going to help either educate people, or there just might, I don't know, I'm getting something weird, like, or maybe you need kind of some kind of education, but I just feel like I'm getting all this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but maybe you still have to stay crisp. Don't go soggy, because they kind of have that crisp too. And apples are able to kind of stay by themselves. They don't have like, they don't need friends. You know, like cherries need friends, grapes need friends, bananas need friends. Apples, like, they don't need anybody else. They got themselves and their leaf, and they're like, screw you all. Like, I don't need any of you people. So you might have to kind of have that, also that independent energy in a way. You might have to just be an apple. Maybe that's really what's coming out here. You just have to be an apple. Okay. Now let's see what else we get. And you have kindness. And I think this is like you have to either give yourself kindness or have kindness and patience. Because maybe some of these people, or this Seven of Wands, defending yourself, it could be from maybe parents, grandparents, something where you love the person, but they don't understand your vision. They don't get you. But maybe you have to kind of come at it with a little kindness as well. But I think you got to give kindness to yourself too. Okay, and now it's time for Mr. Predicto. Okay, Cancers, think of those questions and we shall ask. Oh, Mr. Predicto, the most accurate prediction device to ever run off batteries. What is the answer to Cancer's question?
Ask later when the time is right.
He said ask later when the time is right. So I guess the time's not right now. I don't know. I just don't know. He could be trolling you as well. He could be part of this Seven of Wands. You know, this you having to defend yourself and he's not even going to help you out. He's not throwing you a bone. He's not answering anything today. Who knows with this one? Anyway, Mr. Predicto is a man of many words, and those were the words he chose to speak here today. I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, month, year, lifetime, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.